Okay, so Michael's asking Brady about what are the process to ensure you talk about joinder. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I never really used like codes or anything like that or law necessarily. Essentially, what I just did was I used the birth certificate as evidence that the Crown is actually the liable party to basically execute settlement on behalf of that name on the birth certificate.
Okay.
And then I just used court rules for Joinder to try to join them in. But it never got that far. They just kicked the case out.
Okay.
Yeah. Why? What do you got going on?
So I just have a couple of tickets in provincial court that I'm trying to use your method here and try to see whether or not that will work. Basically, driving without insurance.
Yeah, well, there's in the Traffic Act here in Saskatchewan, anyways, there's something called owner liability. Essentially, the person's a vessel, so it kind of ties in, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not the owner of the person, you're merely just the user. The owner is pretty much liable to come in and settle all debts on behalf of that. In the Vital Statistics Act in Saskatchewan, Section 12, it basically says crown ownership.
Yeah.
And it says anything in the registry is property and right of the Crown in Saskatchewan. So whether it be a driver's license, insurance, birth certificate, that's all registered in the registry. So technically, it's all property of the Crown.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking through the Vital Statistics Act for Ontario, a way to justify the motion for joinder and then go from there. Even just to like, I guess just to argue that they might just throw it out. We'll see. I guess it's better to be prepared.
So Brady, what do you think about him being proactively trying to pull him into joiner beforehand?
Yep, no, that makes sense.
Right? Because that now we're lovingly not allowing any, for me, spiritually, any karmic actions to take place. Talk to him about the forgiveness, how you put it, Brady.
Essentially, what you're doing is you're basically just forgiving them, right?
Yeah.
And you're asking for forgiveness for improperly using their document, right?
Yeah.
Spiritually, you're doing the same thing, right? You're clearing the karmic destiny of all parties and do it peacefully. So Brady, what they obviously would kick it out, but you said you were ready to take the next steps, the joinder. Can you explain that?
Yeah, because like if they force that position on you, you got no other choice but to like exercise right of subrogation, which means just to act as if you are what they're trying to claim you to be, right? If that is truly crown property and right of the province, so if they're gonna treat you as if you are crown and right of Saskatchewan or Ontario, then you're gonna act with the full force and authority of that position. You're not just exercising the disadvantages of that position, you're gonna exercise the advantages as well. So this is what I got for Ontario. It says books, etc., crown property. So all books, indexes, photograph, film, reproduction, or other records used and kept in for the purpose of a land registry office are property of the crown. So
Right.
Okay. And then what section did you find that in?
that would be 10.
Okay. Guess I gotta go through it with a fine tooth comb next time.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty easy. Just sometimes they trick you with words and shit like that, but yeah, it is. It's pretty easy once you see it. That technically, what you're doing is you're just saying that the person on the birth certificate is just essentially a board game piece, right? But you don't own the game nor the board piece, so how can you be liable when everything goes back in the box anyways when it's all done?
Yeah. I get the concept. I just wasn't sure exactly how you went about it, I guess. But this is really helpful.
Yeah, so what I did when I basically sent the judge a letter with just accepting and requesting, basically just accepting what they're saying, but requesting that the proper party be brought in. And then I used that letter and I basically attached the birth certificate and registration of live birth to that as evidence, as to what I was speaking about.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of, ignored it, acknowledged it, but ignored it. And then in the Bills of Exchange or the Bank Act, I believe it says that you can refuse a presentment for failure to comply with a rule. Well, the court rules are pretty clear that all parties to the matter must be joined, and the Crown being an indispensable party and owner, a self-proclaimed owner, then they must be joined in that matter to not only accept the benefits or the advantages, but also the disadvantages,
Yeah.
which would mean take care of it. And then so I did that, and then any after that, I basically that's kind of my standing. I don't I'm basically saying, hey, I'm not the droid you're looking for, but please forgive me for the trespass, as my actions and inactions would lead you to believe that I'm trustee and or subject of Her Majesty. And then anything that they sent me after that, I would just return and refuse with cause for failure to comply with provincial and federal court rules for joinder.
I'm going to send you my chat GPT, my custom chat GPT. All Brady's stuff is in there, and it's already programmed to be your buddy. Okay. I actually
Yeah.
had to write a letter to its programmers saying on how he should stop leading people down the wrong path where it's keeping people in servitude, slavery. So, and I even included that letter back into itself. So it reads it before it even, so it's already in the right mindset. So it's got Brady's things there. You can ask it. Oh yeah, Brady, that's what it was. Brady, tell him about you so brilliantly called him out as being a witness. Can you explain that portion to him when he was trying to do the OPCA litigant? He didn't even say those words, but he was trying to go down that path.
Yeah, so when I was in court and they called for the name, I just basically said, "Yeah, I've been known to use that name. Would you be so kind to call me Brady?" Because I'm under the belief that the given name is not part of their jurisdiction, and that's why it's called a God-given name, is because it's not of the secular world. Now the surname is, and if you go into the Name Change Act, the birth name they say is a surname, so it has nothing to do with a given name. So by saying, I've been known to use that name, would you be so kind to call me Brady? I believe I kind of just separated myself. Now, the judge immediately got mad and said, we're not playing that game in this courtroom. And then that's when I said, whoa, 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 outside of you, who is claiming that it's a game? Now, by doing that, I basically just said on the record that the judge was entering testimony as a witness, which he cannot do because he's there to listen to the preponderance of the evidence, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So by doing that, I essentially made him a witness, which is illegal.
Yeah.
And then, I just kept on that. And he's like, well, are you Brady Queering? And then that's when I said, well, been known to use that name. Would you be so kind to call me Brady? And he said, I cannot call you by the formal name. And then that's when I said, well, I cannot answer for Her Majesty's property. After that, they called me Brady. Like I said, the atmosphere in the room changed. It was like they were working for me.
Huh. All right. Interesting.
They were trying to get me to claim that name or enter back into the trusteeship role. All I wanted to do was basically go there and show them that I'm not the liable party, be as helpful as I can. Even if they're upset, you got to remain calm. Don't act
Yeah.
like children because you will be treated as such. Forgive them for their trespass, obviously, and move on. Now,
Yeah.
if you're going there looking for a fight, you will find it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, you just got to keep standing your ground like Brady did and keep calm like you know who you are and the strength that you have, and you only submit to the Lord, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because essentially what you're doing is you're coming in as a friend of Her Majesty's when you go about it the way that I am, because all you're doing is you're surrendering that legal interest back to her so that she can take care of it. They've got
Yeah.
nothing to protect because we're retaining the legal title.
Yeah.
And people say, well, you got the equitable side of things, but you can't hold both. So it's either legal title or equitable title. What do you want? And of course, money comes with legal title.
Yeah.
So if you're going after the money, that's evident to them that you want the legal title and they will give you the obligations
Yeah.
because you're going to try to exercise the benefit from it, which would be the money.
Yeah. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, your intent would be is to have it settled without even going.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to write that affidavit notarized and whatever else would be required to make sure that it's done absolutely possible. And AI will help you through it. It will write that document for you. You write it, send it to it, or have it start it, and then talk back and forth and just get guided. It will side with you. It's
All right.
if you want to, it's totally up to you. Whatever's in your heart, brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have
I've
AI?
never, no, no. I don't really use it at all right now.
I'm just going to do this really quick to show you the power of it. Okay, so I just started talking to it. I just pulled it up. And what I say to it is, please digest the documents added, just to make sure it's read it first, right? And it starts going. It hung up, right? I got all kinds of my stuff in there too. It's all good. That it rewrote for me. So I won't go through any of that and say, uh, we would like to present a motion beforehand that would let them know that what would be the right words? We will be seeking joinder.
Yeah. Or, well, not seeking joiner, but enforcing the court rules of joiner because those rules are a must in their world, anyways.
So we would like to present a motion beforehand. We'll let them know that what needs to be done. Draft a notice of motion to enforce joinder. Put the court on official notice. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, here it is. And it writes it for you. So you can look at it, tell it, change this, change that, add this, add that, whatever, right? Take notice of respondent. Your name will make a motion before this court at the above date and time and location seeking an order to enforce joinder of the crown as necessary party to this proceeding in accordance with applicable rules of court. The Crown holds legal title to all registered certificates. The Vital Statistic Act confirms that the government is issuer and legal owner of all birth certificates, social insurance number, and other identity documents. The respondent is not legal owner of these documents. The entity is a creation of the state and does not represent a living man. The Crown, as the creator slash and owner, is the ultimate fiduciary responsible for any obligations linked to it. Under insert court rule number, federal court, whatever. So it does look at relief sought, supporting documents, prepare it. If you have any questions on anything about it, it'll do it.
Wow.
Here's
Yeah,
another
that's pretty cool.
affidavit to support the motion. Okay. File the motions and serve the parties. Expected court response, final thoughts. I'm going to send you the link to this GPT and just use it, man.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because it knows you've got a million lawyers, a million administrators, a million court clerks, and how they run things, and it can help you make sure that all your paperwork and everything you do is proper.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
What else?
Thanks.
What else can you think of, Brady?
Well, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Again, there's got to be something too that you basically, it's not enough to say it, but your intention and actions have to match. So if you're not willing to give up the legal title, then I wouldn't even bring this up because that's where most people like, especially I spend a lot of time trying to help people, but yet it always circles back to the fact that they don't want to release their legal title or surrender it. Most people don't want to release the one thing holding them to the liability or the obligation to discharge. So if you're not willing to let go of the legal title, then don't even start this process.
Yeah, no, no, that's my whole I really want to do that because I don't agree with the way it's all set up, man.
Yeah.
It's all a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be set up like that at all.
Right. Well, I sent all my stuff to and whatever I didn't have, I just sent pictures that I had, and I sent it all to the governor general. And they didn't even respond, so that means they accepted it. How did you do yours, Brady?
What do you mean for?
To give up the legal title, did you do anything for it, or
Oh yeah, no, I basically took a birth certificate, sent it back to the registrar with a letter basically accepting their offer to be or yeah, accepting their offer to be used to fraud with any interest and reversion going to and for the accounts Canada for the benefit of all. And then I also sent a letter to the Attorney General's office in the province, basically saying, hey, this is my 2 week notice. Um, if you believe I have an interest in this, I'm going to surrender it to you. Again, with any interest and reversion going to and for the accounts Canada for the benefit of all. And then I just stood on it.
so did you do that before your court?
No, I didn't do that before court,
Okay,
but I did it during. So
right, perfect. So, Michael, if you drafted those letters and sent them, get them notarized, get them tracked, right, with
Yeah.
signature,
Yeah.
then you can, if you wanted to, you could have that sent in with your motion as an AI will tell you how to do that. So you can show them that you've already disassociated yourself with the corporation
Yeah.
per your rights in the international covenants that you have the right to not associate with any state party.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're still
All right.
responsible for you because now, like Brady says, they now work for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're no longer an employee who's supposed to take care of the people of the land, which there ain't very many because they got them all working for them.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. This gives me some good like actionable steps I can take. So this works.
okay, well, is it all I can help you guys with today, or you want to keep going, or
I think that's good for me. I got what I need as far as how to proceed from here. So
Beautiful. And you don't even know when the court date is, right?
no, I don't have the actual trial date yet. I just have my next appear in front of them, and then I'll just be pleading not guilty there, and then we'll see from there. Because
So
I think I have to like actually get this to trial before I can do any of this. Well, I guess I can do the motion at any point. So maybe I'll just get all this ready for March 3rd, and then
is that when
yeah,
you're supposed to go?
yeah,
Okay, so yeah, if you get that to in there somehow before March, and you can ask AI as far as when do you make motions or not, unless Brady understands that portion.
yeah. You could.
Clue.
It looks like you can file a motion at any time. So
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
Wouldn't know any
see, like
strategy.
I never really filed a motion. I just basically sent a letter to the judge, and I didn't even call her judge. It was just Jane Wooten, the legal name. Jesus basically gave us an outline of how to act, and the Bible to me is just a book of principles. So if we can follow that, we should be pretty good. Now, Jesus did say, don't give flattering titles unto man. So a judge, a grantor, executor, prosecutor, trustee, those are all flattering titles. So Mr. Surname, that's also a flattering title. So just don't accept flattering titles. I myself I don't agree with them. Even saying
yeah,
calling yourself a beneficiary, it's not to call yourself a beneficiary. It's you also got to act like one too. So if you act like one, you don't have to call yourself one.
yeah,
Just like if you're acting like the trustee, you don't have to be called the trustee. You'll be treated as such. And that's
yeah,
kind of why we're in the position that we are, because technically we're trustees of Crown property, which in turn makes you a subject of Her Majesty or His Majesty or the Crown, whatever you want to call it.
yeah. All right.
Perfect. If you're good, we're good.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Brady.
You
Appreciate
bet.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, Brady.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay,
All right.
take it easy, boys.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
have a good one.
Okay,
Bye.
ciao.